Hi guys, it's me Ty here, and today I'm going to talk about what to do if your John Deere 950 tractor will not start. And we had this issue with ours where I was kind of new to this tractor, but I grew up with like the 40 series tractors, and we had one there. So I went to go and try and start it. Every single time I try and start it, you would hear the starter spinning, but it sounded like it wasn't getting shot out into the flywheel and I couldn't really pop the hood because we had three big weights on the front. It's got a pretty light front end. It's more of a utility tractor, but it looks like a full size tractor. So I went ahead and I went to John Deere, and you cannot buy a new starter for them. You cannot buy a remount starter. They discontinued those with John Deere. But I was able to find an aftermarket one for those John Deere tractors on eBay. So I ordered that. And I think it was like a 170, 180. That's how much that one cost. And I put it in and I went to go fire it up and it did the exact same thing. Um, and I was like, what the heck? So I go ahead and I pop the hood and I look there and I try spinning over and I saw that the radiator fan was spinning. So I was like, well, obviously the engine is spinning over. Why the heck isn't this thing starting? And on the left hand side here, there's a like a T handle that you pull out. In all the old John Deeres that we've always had, that's how you shut off fuel to kill the engine. You can turn off your ignition key. That cuts off all electricity, but the engine will keep running. You have to go and pull out that cable or that knob, and that will actually shut off fuel to the engine. And that's how I was killing it. And then I go ahead and press it in so it'll start for the next guy. And it had done that for how long? And one other thing I noticed though, with the throttle on the right hand side of the steering column, if I lowered it all the way down, it would kill the engine too. And I thought, oh, it's just getting too low of RPMs and it's killing the engine or whatever. So when I popped the hood, I looked at it and I was like, man, it seems like it's not getting fuel. So I went ahead and I pulled back on that cable there, and I was like, okay, it's back, whatever. And I went to go press it in, but nothing was moving forward in the front up on top of the engine. So I walked up to the front, and sure as heck, on all three of the valve covers, because that's a 3-cylinder EMR diesel engine, that cable connects there and it pulls back three little rods, and they have springs on them. And that must somehow shut off the fuel rack or whatever, even though the fuel injection pump is on the right hand side of the engine. And when I pressed that in, those three little levers on that rack, they were not going forward. Um, so the springs, obviously, like I said, they were weak or whatever. So I went ahead and I was like, I'm gonna try something. I went ahead and I pushed the rack forward, so that all three of the levers went forward, and hopped in there, cranked the engine over, and the engine started right up perfectly. And one of the older guys who had years running this tractor, he's like, yeah, we never use that left hand one for shutting off fuel. He's like, we just go ahead and we pull the throttle all the way down on the right hand side of the steering wheel, and that's how we shut off the engine. And I was like, well, would you guys like me to go ahead and replace those springs? And he said it would open up a whole bunch of more worms, more problems over something that's already working by us just pulling down the throttle. And I completely agreed with him, because if we would have pulled off those valve covers, stuff would have started leaking. We replaced those three springs because they have rubber bushings that go into the valve covers. Chances are the new ones would start leaking. So I hope this helps any of you guys that have a 50 series John Deere. I'm not sure if it's going to work for all of your 50 series. Like they made the 8650s, the 4450s, all those different sizes, but they were more the full sized tractors. So I'm assuming they wouldn't have had the Yanmar engine, whereas this little 950 horsepower two-wheel drive tractor with 3-point and PTO. That this one here, like I said, it's got a Yanmar engine. I wouldn't think they'd put a Yanmar engine in one of the bigger farm tractors. So I hope this helps you guys. If you guys like this content, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll just keep kicking out more repair videos for you guys and more money saving tips. All right, take care.